Welcome back. The women of Western Illinois sit at 2-2 in the Summit League right now. So does South Dakota. Western got a win on Saturday at home. USD, meanwhile, took a loss on the road in Kansas City. Western Illinois unbeaten at home on the season going into this one. Michelle Maher for Western Illinois. She had 12. So did Ashley Luke. Gets the spinning in. Leathernecks opened up a 15-point lead in the first half. They made 8 threes in the first 20 minutes. Carolyn Blair Mobley came back in this one, had almost half of Omaha's points. She had 20 to go with 9 rebounds. But Western Illinois kept pouring it on. Jackie Rieger, 2 of her 10 off the bench. Western Illinois ended up making 11 threes in the ball game. Karis Phillips hits one here, and the Leathernecks go to 7-0 at home with a 71-44 win. In Kansas City, the Kangaroos hosting South Dakota. The Coyotes 2-1 in league play coming into this one, but a tough shooting night for Coyote leading scorer Nicole Seekamp. Gets this one to go, but she was just 1 of 9 from the field. Did end up with 9 points and 5 assists. And then Polly in the post, Harrington for USD. She led them with 14, but USD shot just 24% in the first half and trailed by 10. Kansas City still playing without Kim Nazanya, but Elise O'Connor is playing well for the Roos. She had 14. Taylor Leathers added 12 points and 10 rebounds for Kansas City. Here's Haley Hauser, and Kansas City gets its first Summit League win. All right, we saw University of South Dakota a couple of weeks ago. It just seems like they're still trying to glue things together a little bit.
Well, they're a young team, Tom, and they're going to have some ups and downs as the season goes on. And this, for them, was a tough road loss, though, at Kansas City. I know that was a game they felt like they needed to get and could get, trying to keep track and keep pace with South Dakota State near the top. And they're going to have to regroup now and then come back home and see if they can get a win now on their home floor here.
All right, there was some drama in a couple of women's games on Saturday. A 1-point win by North Dakota State at Oakland, and a game winner at the buzzer for South Dakota State at Fort Wayne. Oakland came out led by 9 in the first 10 minutes of this game, but it would be very close from there out. Elena Popke for 3. She had 13 for Oakland. And Anne-Marie Hamlet off the bench with 7 for the Golden Grizzlies. Oakland made 7 of 23-point shots. They led by 1 at the half. Katie Burkle, a big night for North Dakota State, though. A couple of steals, 5 assists. Finds Danny DeGagne. DeGagne had 9 points, 10 rebounds. Holly Johnson had 10 off the bench for NDSU, and Burkle led him with 22. But Moreno Whittle had the game winner with 3 seconds left. NDSU wins on the road 60-59. More last-second excitement in Fort Wayne on Saturday. The Dons in South Dakota State. Amanda Hyde to Haley Seibert on the wing gives Fort Wayne a 1-point lead with 5 minutes left in the first half. Dons led by 3 at the half. Second half, Erin Murphy had 20 points. The great assist here to Stephanie Mock. Mock had 20, and Fort Wayne led by 9 with under 4 minutes to play. But the Jacks come all the way back. Ashley Eide for 3 to put SDSU up 64-63 with 30 seconds left. They foul Erin Murphy with 12 seconds left. She makes 1 to tie the game at 64, and then the scramble at the other end. The Jacks will get it to Bover, who gets it to Heiser, who gets a shot off here with about 8 seconds to go. That's a miss. And then a putback, no good. And then Bover pulls it out. Can't get that down, but Megan Watashik beats the buzzer and the clock and the light, and South Dakota State pulls out a 66-64 victory. Well, Megan Watashik had the last 2 of that game. She had 30 in this ball game. She made 6 threes, had 11 rebounds at Fort Wayne. She is the Women's Player of the Week. Watashik is also 27 of 28 at the free throw line in this 7-game winning streak that South Dakota State is on. And Brad, does SDSU really have 2 maybe Player of the Year candidates in Ashley Eide and Megan Watashik?
Well, both of them have played excellent this year at various times for South Dakota State. But if you look just at the league games, Megan Watashik's the one that's really asserting herself, averaging about 18 a game, 3rd in the league in scoring. So she's really come on strong since conference play started.
All right, here are the women's standings after 2 weeks of league play, and it is the Jackrabbits unbeaten at 5-0. IUPUI with just that 1 loss, and then Omaha, the newcomer this year, and even 3-3, Western Illinois and South Dakota at 2-2 and near the top right now. And coming up this week, South Dakota State is at home. They will take on Western Illinois on Thursday night, and IUPUI goes to Brookings to take on the Jackrabbits on Saturday. Well, we put the spotlight on 2 Summit League campuses this week. First up is Kansas City.
The average book is probably, $150, and I have 5 classes. adds up.
And it adds up quickly. Textbooks can be expensive for any college student, but the UMKC bookstore now has a new option to lighten the load.
A lot of people do come in or call just like they've heard about the rental thing from friends and they want to know what it's all about.
Claudia Sudacum works at the UMKC bookstore. She's seen the start of a new money-saving trend. About a fourth of the books are available to rent this year. And renting has its advantages. Students only have to pay about half price. But renters beware, renting the same book more than once is not cost-effective. Simply fill out a form for each semester.
This basically obligates you to bring it back by the last day of finals. If they keep it past that date, then they just get charged for the difference and they keep the book forever if it turns out that it's something that they're really interested in.
The feedback for the textbook rentals were positive. The staff plans to continue textbook rentals in the upcoming years.
I think the people who get them are probably pretty satisfied with them.
One of the people considering the textbook rental option is Josh Hutkins, but has concerns of the limitations of the rentals.
If you can't highlight in them, that might be a little problem. But I think being able to rent them, you don't want them after you're done with the class, so you can just give them back.
The way you use the book is the same, but the only difference is you're renting, not buying. Possibly, students will luck out and rent their way through the school year, one book at a time.
Well, we move the spotlight to Oakland and an eye-opening experience for the women's basketball team there when we come back.